All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak, Warash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to you, hopefully, like Akim, pushing the word and truth and in sincerity, make peace and blessings be upon your households in these last days. Shalom. And I just want to do a quick in transit through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemar Shai. And I want to touch on, fear and why you see our people, Jake, all right? Even those who know themselves to be Israelites, why you see them switching up the doctrine, all of a sudden, Esau can make it, the heathen gonna reign with us. Esau gonna rise up after 1,000 years in the kingdom. All that nonsense, man. All right, ultimately it's because our people are afraid of Esau. All right? They're afraid of Esau, man. Okay, and Jacob had that spirit on him as well. In Genesis, he was afraid, he feared Esau because, hey, don't get it twisted, man. Esau, Esau crazy. All right, Esau, he's the sword of the Lord. That's why King David, said, "Deliver me," roughly paraphrasing, "from the wicked, which is thy sword." All right, but ultimately, we aren't to be afraid of Yahweh Slaki. We aren't to be afraid of Esau, man. All right, Esau he's just a man. Okay, that's been given power from Yahweh Shemar Shai on the left hand side. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab this, without too much rambling. 2 Timothy 1:7, and it reads, "For the Most High God, Yahweh, have not given us the spirit of fear." All right, so the Lord, the spirit of fear is not from the Lord. All right, so if it's not from Yahweh Shemar Shai, then who is it from? It's from the spiritual demon Satan. All right, and his physical counterpart ESAU EDOM. They want you to fear. Okay. They want you to fear them, man. All right, this is why Esau did the things that he did to Jake. Here in captivity, man, and even before that, going all the way back to Rome, man. Esau used to take Jake, and use him as lamps, light, put their body, on fire, put their bodies on fire, torture Jake, man. All right, and this is ultimately, why Jake is afraid, of Esau, man, because our people know that this devil he ain't rap tight. Okay, so they gon' before the chip come, they gonna bend the knee, verbally, man. Okay, it's gonna be verbally and through their actions that they gonna bend the knee. All right, they ain't, Esau ain't even came with the chip yet. He hasn't even came with his his torture, so to speak. But you still got Jake, all right, switching things up. Ultimately it's because Jake, all right, our people, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're afraid of this devil, man. All right, they don't fear Yahweh Shemar Shai. Hey, the Lord is greatly to be feared. All right, the Lord can do, the Lord can do, he can do more damage, way more damage than ESAU EDOM, man. This is Genesis 32:3, and it reads, "And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom." All right, this is where the so-called white man is originally from. This is the land that the Lord gave these devils, man. All right, Genesis 32:4, "And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau." All right, so really, Jacob, through his fear, all right, he was using wisdom. He pretty much humbled himself to Esau, you know, to get a pass, right? You know, hey, Esau, you know, he's the first individual to you know, to you know, that pass shit. Thy servant Jacob saith, thus I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now. Genesis 32:5. And I have oxen and asses, flocks, and manservants and women servants, and I have sent to tell my Lord that I may find grace in thy sight. All right, and this is what Jake really wants to do. All right, they want to find, instead of finding grace in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai, they want to find grace in the eyes of Esau, thinking that this devil is going to, you know, he's going to have some mercy upon them. You know, when he brings in, you know, when he tries to get his New World Order off the ground. All right, which he's going to get it off the ground, but the Lord's going to destroy it. You know, Jake wants to find mercy in the sight of Esau, man. Genesis 32:6, and the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to thy brother Esau, and he also came to meet thee, and 400 men with him. All right, so Esau came, you know, he came deep. All right, and this is what Esau gonna do in these times, man. And our people know that. They know once these troops, you know, really start to fully turn up, that they're gonna come deep. All right, and they can come deep. Okay, because the Lord gonna have something for him too. And he divided Genesis 32:7. Then Jacob was greatly afraid. All right, so you know, our people, they're afraid of Esau. But that ain't the spirit that the Lord has given the elect, man. Okay, that's the wrong spirit to be in, to be afraid of Esau, man. And distress, and he divided the people that was with him in the flocks and the herds and the camels into two bands. All right, and that's mainly what I wanted to get. You know, Jacob, you know, he got afraid, man. All right, but that, you know, like I said, that's the wrong, you know, spirit to be in, man. We gotta trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, just like all our forefathers did, man. Okay, King David, you know, the Maccabees, you know, the men of the Lord, you know, the prophets, man. They all trusted in the Lord. Psalms 59:1, and to read the chief musician of Alishith, Mishtam, and David, when Saul sent, and they watched, Slakia, driving, and they watched the house, to kill him. Deliver me from my enemies, by my power, Yahweh, man. All right, this should be incorporated into our prayers, asking Yahweh Shema Shai to deliver us from our enemies, man. And our chief enemy is Esau, the so-called white man. Defend me from them that rise up against me. The 2/3 as well, the heathen. All right, 2/3, man. 2/3 are our top enemy as well. You know, 2/3, man. If they could, they would put us to death. All right, some of us, you know, are going to be put to death. You know, Psalms 59:2, deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men. All right, Esau's a bloody man. All right, and our people know that, man. They know what these devils have done to us and what they're capable of. All right, and that makes them afraid of Esau, man. They know that they know in their spirit, whether they know Esau or not, that he's the devil, man. Okay, and if the Lord is not dealing with you, then what? You're gonna have, you know, you're gonna be in that spirit of fear. Psalms 59:3. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Lord Yahweh. Right? But that's mainly what I wanted to get, man. Esau's a bloody man. All right, this is going to be Matthew 10:28, and it reads, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking, man. And fear not them which kill the body. All right, we aren't to fear Esau. You know, Jake feared Esau because they know this man they know he's a murderer. All right, because kill, you know, you have a righteous kill. Now Esau, he's a murderer from the beginning, man. Which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Now Esau, he ain't able to kill the soul, man. He's not able to deal with the soul. This is what he wants, man. All right, he wants to be Yahweh Shemon Shai, but rather fear him, which is able to kill both soul and body in hell. All right, who can do that? Yahweh Shemon Shai. Okay, the Heavenly Father, man. He can destroy your both your soul and body in hell. Meaning what? Just utter destruction. Esau can't do that. All right, Esau can only do so much, man. The Lord has infinite ways of destroying you, man. That's the one that you should fear. We aren't to fear this devil, man. All right, let's go here. Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man bringeth a snare. All right, when you fear man, you're already in traps. You're already caught up, man. This is what you see amongst Jake. This is what you see amongst those who know that they Israelites. They're caught, man. They're in snares. They're in traps. Esau got them trapped up. All right. Esau got Jake trapped up in that fear, man. Okay, this is why this is why Judas Iscariot, man. He took that deal, man. Ultimately because he was afraid. All right. And it was prophesied he was going to betray Yahweh Shai. But whoso putteth his trust in the Lord Yahweh Shemon Shai shall be safe. All right, and Jake don't believe that. Jake don't believe if they put their trust in the Lord, that the Lord is going to protect them, all right, and have them in a place of safety. Nah, they fear what Esau's coming to do. Jake seeing these concentration camps being bought and being put up. Jake see these ICE troops rounding people up. Jake see these things, man. Jake see these legislations being passed. All right, and Jake getting scared, man. All right, and that's gonna be a snare unto you, Jakes, man. Ultimately, what? That RFID microchip. All right, I see here, man. All right, Jake gonna be in fear of losing their home, losing their vehicles. Jake gonna be afraid of losing their women, their children, just earthly and fleshly things, man. And that's gonna put them, in that snare. All right, let's grab this definition of afraid. A feeling of fear or anxiety, frightened, worried that something undesirable will occur or be done. Right, and that's ultimately, that's ultimately what Jake is in that spirit, man. Jake be worried, man, worried about this and that, worried about things that's not important. All right, worried, they got that weak nature spirit upon them. We'll end it off here. All right, Isaiah 59:19, and it reads, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Shemon Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. All right, he's gonna come in. It's prophesied for him to come after us, man. All right, it's prophesied for him to do that. All right, but guess what? It's also prophesied for Yahweh Shemon Shai to lift up that standard and destroy these devils, man. All right, it's up to you to believe that. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shemon Shai shall lift up a standard against him. All right, and when you go into that word standard, it means basically a protection, man, spiritual protection. All right, the Lord is going to lift up. He's going to lift up certain men with powers, man, to deal with these devils. Okay, so there ain't nothing for us to be afraid of, man. We got chariots on our side, man. You have to believe that what Esau calls these UFOs and UAPs, those are on our side. Okay, that alone should have your mind at ease, man. To know that a chariot, all right, a chariot, a great power is on our side, man. And these devils can't even shoot the chariots down. Right? They can't even chase him. Okay, that's the power that's on our side, man. We ain't to fear these devils, man. All right, but with that, we'll close the lesson on now. Lord willing, it was edifying. Until the next time, shalom.